Hey guys, Dr. Kyle Lovelace here, your wellness expert. For those of you who don't know me, my wife and I, Dr. Holly, have two clinics in the Charlotte area, Queen City Health Center, one in South Park, one in Matthews. And we're going to be continually shooting videos or even recording on things like podcasts and really putting these things together to bring you the latest health information. And this is for you. It's about you. And our goal is really to help you win victory over your current health condition. Whether you're someone with back pain and neck pain, maybe you have headaches, maybe you have crazy digestive issues. If you've ever heard my story, I used to have really bad issues with things like irritable bowel and digestive problems. Also had a lot of anxiety as well. And so, but these are things that over the last 10 years in practice and working with patients at a very high level, we've been able to help people win victory over these things. And we do that, number one, by teaching them the principles of health. Not just saying, okay, here's a tip on a certain food you can eat or a supplement you can take, but understanding how your body works so that over a period of time, you become your own health expert. And that's what really this is about, is helping you become the health expert. So daily videos, daily podcasts, daily things you can read that are going to teach you about how your body works so that you become the health expert is really the key to being, getting where you want to be in life today. Years past, our food wasn't as bad as it used to be. Our lifestyles weren't as stressful as they used to be. We didn't have all this social media and computers and all this other stuff. And so you really could get by just by living life. Today, it's different. You have to know what health is. You have to know what you should be and shouldn't be feeding your family. You have to know what you should and shouldn't let yourself and your kids do when it comes to health. So very important stuff. But hey, I want to start out. Today, we're going to talk about the top 5 things, or it's not even the top, just 5 simple things you can do to help, whether you're having a migraine headache or regular headache, or to prevent those things from happening, and even more importantly, getting rid of them long term, meaning 10, 15 years from now, you don't have headaches anymore. We've had patients come in, and I can think off the top of my head, a patient named Mel. She's been a patient now for about 2 years, and when she first came in, it was daily headaches, many times to the point of throwing up with migraines, and it's been 2 years now, and she doesn't have any headaches. She said last year, it was in 2018 when she said it, but in 2018, she said the whole year she only had 1 headache. That's cool. Really, really cool stuff. And it's because she started to work with her body, not just took a supplement, not just did some, trick. However, there are some 5 things that you could do. And one of these 5 things may be the reason you're having those migraines. So I'm going to dive into that. Before I do, I want to give you a heads up on the things that are happening in our world right now for at least the things we're going to bring you guys. We have some events coming up that are life-changing events. And on January 21st, this coming Monday, we're actually going to be teaching a 21-day detox. We're going to start the first half of the class out by teaching on basic nutrition, stuff that many people do not realize, opposite of what we've been taught growing up. And then we're going to dive into a cleanse that we're going to do called a standard process cleanse with organic supplements, but then also an eating plan that you can follow for the next 21 days. Awesome stuff. My wife, Dr. Holly, and I have been doing it for the last almost 18, whatever today's date is, since January 1st, and already are seeing amazing things happen. We've done this cleanse for the last 4 years with ourselves, with our patients. I've had patients with high blood pressure where their blood pressure went away and nothing else worked besides this. Weight loss where they couldn't lose weight, and now they are. It really resets the body. So it's a great thing to do in the beginning of the year. Okay, so make sure you come to that too at 6 o'clock at our Matthews and our South Park clinic. To sign up for that, simply just look on the website, give us a call, and there's even an Eventbrite link, and I'll put that on there for you to sign up for that. Also, on February 16th, we're going to be teaching at the Gate Church for 2 hours, GATE, the Gate Church, and I'll post a link for that as well if you want to sign up for that. We're going to be spending 2 hours diving into the health principles, things like detox, mindset, and chiropractic care. Also things like how to get rid of stress. We have this thing called stress overload syndrome, how to help with that. And then also dietary nutritional changes you can make as well, and exercise as well. So make sure you sign up for those things. All right, guys, enough of the intro. Let's get started on this headache topics. Okay, so we got 5 things that I know can be very valuable for your health if you do them. So when it comes to the first thing, I always recommend, if somebody comes to our clinic with migraines, I always try this first. Just say, hey, go home, do this. And it's take something like magnesium and a multi-B vitamin. Okay, so a B vitamin complex and magnesium. And one of the best ways to get magnesium is from real stuff. So I always recommend something like cacao powder. It's very high in magnesium. Things like broccoli are really high in magnesium. You can take a pinch of sea salt, put that in water, and get your electrolytes, including magnesium. You can also take a supplement form of magnesium, and there's a lot of good ones out there as well. But magnesium, many times what happens is when you're low in magnesium, your arterial walls will spasm. Migraines typically come from not enough blood flow to the brain, and when you start to get magnesium, it'll help dilate your arteries, get blood flow to the brain. Also, B vitamins, many times when you're low in B vitamins, they're a part of almost every process in your body is some sort of a B vitamin. And so same thing, it can cause constriction when your B vitamins are low. Second thing that I recommend everyone do is make sure you're drinking enough water. We are in a dehydrated world, and the reason is because we're in a caffeinated world. If you wake up in the morning and you're getting your cup of coffee, your Red Bull, whatever your choice of stimulant is, you're gonna end up, truth of the matter is you're gonna end up dehydrated. Not just that, you probably aren't drinking enough water. Between sodas, teas, all these other things, we're always trying to stimulate because we're so stressed out. And because of the high stress levels, it causes your body to use more water. So make sure you're getting enough water. And it needs to be clean, healthy water. Make sure it's filtered. I recommend Berkey water filters if you don't want to go get a whole house filter. Very simple thing you put next to your sink, and you can get a fluoride filter, chlorine filter. I mean, you can get all the junk out of there. If you do something like reverse osmosis, always add a pinch of sea salt in there, or remineralizer so that it remineralizes. Okay, so make sure you're drinking enough water. Many times just enough water is going to be the key. If you're dehydrated, again, it will cause arterial restriction, and in return will cause migraines. Okay, so the third thing that I recommend, I'm just glancing over to see what order I put these in. My favorite one is chiropractic care. 90%, this is from the medical journals, 90% of headaches, specifically migraines, stem or come along with neck problems. And whether you feel it or not, typically that upper bone in your neck, it's called your atlas. You can look this up. It's ATLAS. It holds your skull, so your atlas. And it's the bone in the top of your neck where the vertebral artery goes right through. And that vertebral artery feeds the blood supply to your brain. When that vertebrae, when that bone doesn't move properly or it's out of alignment, it will cause stress or even irritation to that artery and cause spasming and can lead to migraines. It can also affect your hormones because your brainstem, which is right up here as well, controls your heart rate, your blood pressure, your hormones, your respiratory rate. I mean, it's really the parasympathetic nervous. It tells your body to relax, digest food, sleep. All this stems right up here where you have a vagus nerve going to every organ in your body. Okay, so that upper part of your neck is huge, and a good chiropractor is going to find the shifting, the rotation, whatever's happening in that part of your body. And it could be from you sleep on your stomach most of your life. That's a huge one. It could be from a car accident. If you're an athlete, it could be something that happened during sports you don't even realize. It could be from being on computers all the time. I mean, there's a ton of variables that come along with this. If if you do water sports, skiing, there's so many things you can cause injury to this. Or it could just be a repetitive activity like text messaging. You look at most of our kids right now, they most all have that. It even can come from the birthing process in and of itself, especially if you had you went through a C-section or anything like that. It really puts a lot of force on the upper part of the neck when the baby's being born. It can create something called a subluxation, which will in return can lead to migraine headaches. It can lead to a lot of other health issues as well. So chiropractic care is huge, and typically there's a regimen for correction. If it's something that's been there for a while, we also want to understand it's not always a quick fix. Now, I've had patients that come in that have had migraines most of their life, one adjustment and they don't have another migraine again. But I've also had patients where it takes time. Mel, the patient I told you about who was throwing up almost every day, it took about 2 to 3 months for us to really see a big change, and it slowly shifted over and over. And after that first year of care, she was seeing a big change, and it was way less often that she was getting them, and they were way less intense. Over a couple years, it's been completely disappeared, and it all came from fixing the upper part of her neck. Huge. So that's number 3, chiropractic care. Number 4, remove toxins. And I know that's literally impossible in the world we live in today, but there's some specific ones that are very easy to remove. Remove synthetic sweeteners, aspartame, sucralose, NutraSweet, all those things, and read labels, because majority of sugar-free things that you buy, if you look at the back, they have sucralose or aspartame. Chewing gum, truly, get this, I've had patients that come in that are chewing gum nonstop, and it's this aspartame-filled gum, and they have horrible headaches, they have nerve problems, everything else, and all they do is stop chewing the gum, and their problem goes away. So aspartame and sucralose, those are big ones. Hey, here's another one, is if you the air fresheners in your house. Oh my gosh, those things are super toxic. Or in your car. A lot of people don't realize that there are a lot of chemicals in those as well. Whenever you're buying new products, they have a lot of chemicals in them and can cause things like headaches and migraines. So potpourris, all those things for scent are super unhealthy for you. And then also just looking at your food, and if you can't read the label, meaning if you're looking at the label and you can't read something on it and it has a very long word, typically if you can't read it, don't eat it. So taking chemicals out of your diet, processed foods out of your diet, staying away from fast food and things like that are huge for migraines. Okay, so that's number 4. And number 5, my final one for you guys, is this one's a hard one to wrap around because it's big, but I'll just say stress. But obviously I'm not a big fan of saying, hey, reduce your stress, because it's part of life. The more stress you have, or the more resilient you are to stress, the better you handle, the better your body adapts to it. And when your body adapts to stress, you become stronger. So I would never tell you to reduce stress. Gravity is a stress in our body. Without it, we would deteriorate completely. So you want stress. I just left working out this morning, and that stress is going to return into strength. So stress is good. So your first thing with stress is shift your perception from, this stress is so stressful, it's going to kill me, it's going to ruin my life, blah, 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 to, all right, this is the stress that I'm going to break through today, because it's going to mentally make me stronger, maybe even physically make me stronger. And because of that, I'm going to become closer to who I was called to be. That's I would say my biggest way of helping people with stress is not getting rid of it, but becoming more resilient to it. Number 1, in your mind, and number 2, in your body. Repetitions and habits and things like that, and handling the stress, and then also getting enough sleep so that you can recover from the stress. Now, if you're 24/7 nonstop stressed out, then you got to find ways to shift that. Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's exercising. All these things are incredible for helping with stress. Maybe it's, hey, just reading a book. Get back to what you love. Looking at your time and say, hey, am I spending all my time at work, or am I taking time for what I love the most? And when you're with your family, are you really with your family, or are you thinking about the job you got to get done or whatnot? And when you're at work, are you thinking about your family that you want to be with? Be where you're at. Learn to be resilient with stress. And I'll tell you that the care that we actually provide when it comes to chiropractic care is huge for stress. There's 3 things that have been proven, meaning over and over again studies have shown that it makes your body more resilient to stress and back to a homeostasis or balance in your body. Number 1 is your thoughts, your perception of how you see it. Number 2 is adaptogens like rhodiola, cordyceps, ashwagandha, turmeric is an adaptogen, CBD oil is an adaptogen. There's a lot of them out there, but those are some of the best, strongest ones out there. And then the final one that they've shown is to reduce stress is your spinal movement, proprioception to your spine, which chiropractic care provides. It puts full range of motion into your spine. So the other thing you want to know is, if you're sitting all day, you are stressing your body out. Get yourself moving, and that movement is going to change your life, no doubt about it. So those are my top 5 things. Again, it's not top. I'll shoot another video 3 months from now on headaches, and I'll change them up. And these are 5 great things you can use to help shift how migraines are affecting. If you've tried all those and nothing has worked, maybe it wasn't the full answer, but those definitely are a part of it, okay? So maybe you have to change your diet more. Maybe you need a different chiropractor. Maybe you need a different technique of meditation or resiliency to stress, but those are a start. Cool? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got a lot out of that. And hey, make sure, share this stuff. Make sure that other people get the opportunity to learn about natural health things they can do to change their health, because just going to the doctor, few people realize that a normal just physician has been given 2 hours in headache studies, and a neurologist is only given 4 hours in headache studies. So they really truly don't understand. And there are hundreds of types of headaches out there. Typically their answer is do a CAT scan, give you a medication, and we know those things don't get rid of anything. They simply band-aid the problem and give you all other kind of health issues. Get to the root cause of the problem. Start understanding your health, understanding how the body works, and you're going to change your health, but also you're going to be a massive example for you and your family for the rest of their lives as well. And that's massively huge. Hey, sign up for the 21-day detox coming up on January 21st. And then also sign up, come to the gate. Hey, check out this. It's awesome. 2-hour seminar on all the things you need to know about your health when it comes to the core health principles. That's going to be February 16th at the Gate Church. I'll put those links below. You guys sign up, and hey, we'll talk to you soon. Look forward to more videos coming out in the future. You guys have an awesome day.